Hello everyone, and so we are finishing off the Beast Snaggaz box, and we are going to be doing a kill rig. So this thing gives us the opportunity to make either a hunter rig or a kill rig. Personally, I like the kill rig. I think it looks cooler, especially with the cycle on top. So effectively, looks like you make the entire base platform, and then this is the difference. But as always, we're not sticking it on the bases, and so we'll see where it goes. Which the first thing, by the looks of it, is building this giant squig. After this, I am all set up to start doing my dodges on the laser stuff, and I'm going to be doing the Tarrasque, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's going to be very cool. And then very soon, I'm going to be working on my Citizen Sigmar, because I am heading up to Warhammer World in Easter, over the Easter week. And I have my army ready for then. Right, let's trim this up. Right, so tongue first. Here we have a little nook here. Just to sit it in. It's going to must sit up fairly high up. There we go, right, so sometimes with these models it's all about the angle. So, got that in there. Press the tongue just to make sure it's not loose. Right, let's work on some feet and work on these side panels. Let's see if there's anything tricky coming up. Right, so that's the squig done. We're now moving on to the base unit. By the looks of things, we're going to be able to keep it separate. I'm not sure how much of all of this we want to put together beforehand. And how much we're going to miss. We're probably definitely going to want to keep the orcs separate that are on top. Also, these thin chains, by the looks of things, they're going to be tricky. So yeah, I've got a cool Martian bases idea for this when it comes up, which I will do a video on, as I've done for my other bases that I intended to use. I also plan on doing my squigs in multiple different colours for like squig hog boys, so they're not just the standard generic red. I've seen some really cool purples about, and greens and yellows and all sorts, so that's my intention, rather than just having a single uniform colour. Going nuts on colours. Alright, it's still looking fairly easy. We'll continue with clipping some bits, and we'll see if anything tricky comes up. Right, so just something. Watching putting these wheels on. So what the instructions tell you is, it tells you to put them on here on these. But if you force it on too hard, like these bend. I noticed this we're starting to bend on this side. So what you had to do is glue in the bits here. And then you have to support this bit, because otherwise it will probably bend. But there's the wheels. What it tells me here is to attach and affix this to the squig, which will sit like so. But I'm going to wait a minute. I want to see where exactly this goes. Right, that's how it's going to sit, like that. But I want to see where this goes before I attach it. I'm also going to remove these two pieces as well, just in case, because I don't want them to glue in a wrong spot and not attach to the squig here. So yeah, next it tells me to glue the base, and then we're going to start working on, by the looks of things, side pieces. So we'll start working on these and see where exactly it goes on, how it fits and attaches before I actually fully put this on, because, you know, once you start adding bits here, we don't want to start losing details and things that we can't get to. So if you look down here on these on these side panel pieces, Games Workshop recommends you paint it first. I don't think you need to. You're not losing anything under here too much. You're not losing anything here, as long as you're not attaching the squig, which would like block a fair bit. I don't think you need to. I think you can just glue it and support it over this side. Over either side. On the side panel pieces. Because that's just, it's going to look great anyway. And you're not, because I'm not attaching it to the, to the base. I think if you were attaching it to the base, then yeah, probably you want to paint it. But if you're not attaching it to the base and you're decorating your base beforehand, it's not going to, because I'm going to be able to obviously like manipulate it and paint under here like so, and do all of this sort of type work with it. Right. And again, attaching this piece here, look, you're not going to lose anything. You're not going to lose any details. It's just going to turn out fine. However, having said that, so it recommends painting this piece, and it recommends painting the York. So what we'll do is we'll glue the York, and we'll keep them separate. This piece here is going to sit there, but I think this piece is just going to be able to sit right on the back of this piece, and we're still not going to lose anything. But the York we will definitely want to keep separately. So let's put this bit together and we'll see where we're at. Right, so here we have the York separate, ready to go, and he just quite happily slots in to his position. Next, what we have to do is line all of this up. So we've got a bit down here in this gap for that to go. Obviously we need to line up with these. And all of these pieces. So but like I said, doesn't need to worry about being painted separately, or like part of the other. Right, I'm going to have to take this off. So that bit needs to come off. Obviously, don't do it like I did. And we definitely don't want to be painting this and gluing it, because as you can see, it's a bit of a squeeze anyway. So I'm going to fiddle with that and get that in. Right, there we go. It took a bit of squeezing in there, so you definitely want to be gluing this before you paint it. You're not going to you're not going to have to worry about anything missing. We'll be able to get all of these details and things, and we can just sit the orc in his spot when we need to and glue him in. Alright, so we will also glue these fine thin finagly bits, and then looks like more separate orcs, and the cannon is going to sit up the top here, as well as this as the rocket launcher, and we got the back kick piece too. So we're nearly done. Right, so here's the gunner rig, the rig, which it recommends to paint separately, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Just because we're going to sit it, for the kill rig it sits up here, for the hunter rig it will sit down here, so for our kill rig it's going to go there, but we want to keep that separate. Which next we're going to build the rocket, and then we've got our God Prophet too. So we're nearly there, last few minutes. Right, so we have the this rocket and our orc that's going to sit on it. Now what the book suggests when attaching it and everything else is that you paint it all first, and then you attach the arms. What I've done is I've attached a single arm, but I'll keep this arm separate, because what you have to do is you have to keep that, glue that and glue that afterwards. But of course you're looking for all of these tiny little details down here that might block. So what I'm going to do is keep those separate and paint the whole thing, paint this arm, and then I'll glue it on last. Right, next we're on to our Warboy Prophet, and then we've got our last couple of guys by the looks of things. So we'll do the Warboy and see what happens. Right, so I've done where he is, I can't remember, Warboy, that's the one. I've also done the flanking orcs that will sit on the sides here, like so. Again, the book tells us to keep them all separate and paint them all separate, and that is exactly what I would do anyway, because when they sit on here you're just going to lose too much detail. But they're very cool looking orcs. So we have a starting look. I mean, this is going to be a huge project to paint like a lot separately. So next we're building the the tower for the wire boy, where it's going to sit. And unlike several of the other pieces, these final pieces, I will put the put the racks, the bits that these things are going to sit on. I will put them on the kill rig, but I'm going to obviously keep all the weapons and keep this tower separate. This turret bit, whatever it is, separate too. Because I mean, you put this on here and you're just going to lose all of this detail under here and all that. So we'll trim all of this up and put all of this together and have a look at the end. Right, okay, so I've changed the angle so we can see that this is it. This is the kill rig done. Here's the top, which will sit there. I've glued on these these turret pieces, so this one will sit here and this one will sit here. Once it's done, also we don't have to glue them. Of course the orcs will eventually sit in their places. We have one orc that will glue on that side, one orc that we will glue on this side, our wire boy that will sit up the top, and our giant squig, which I'm going to glue these bits on in a minute to make sure they all sit. But that's really, this is really how, especially if you're going to do your base, this is how you want it all set up. So you can paint it all separately, make it all look great, and not worry about all of the blockages and things that are hidden. So this is the final of the Beast Snaggaz stamping box that I got, which is an awesome box. Probably it's probably the best one that they did for for the Christmas, apart from maybe the League's Photon. I'm very much looking forward to starting and painting my orcs. My next assembly, I'm going to move off from Warhammer, and I'm going to go on to D&D's. And I'm going to go do Dungeon Lasers, and I'm going to do my Tarask that I've been really looking forward to for a little while. I finally got like a container big enough that it can sit in once it's all glued, because this beast is going to be huge. And we will I will have some D&D models to offset as an example. Hopefully you found this helpful anyway, and informative. That was the reason that I do all of these videos, to just sort of like help out everyone within the community. I'm also finishing up some Wild Corpse Hunters for a commission, and then I will be very, very quickly and heavily diving into my Citizens of Sigmar, because I need to get them painted in a couple of months. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you've, again, like I say, hopefully you found this very helpful and informative, and I will see you in the next one.